Okay, bonjour. So today we're going to start our new chapter. However, the new chapter is linking on from the previous one that we did on la nourriture et la cuisine. So we've studied all of the food items. So now that brings us to the restaurant, au restaurant. So au restaurant is at the restaurant or in the restaurant. I just think, aside from learning this chapter for any junior cycle exam next year, it's going to really benefit you whenever you do go to France. Ordering food in a restaurant, it just makes life so much easier that you know how to order food, that you have the confidence to do it, and they love to see you engaging with them in French. So hopefully I'll teach you a few tips. A lot of this is out of the chapter in the book, but I did add in a good few extra bits just to, I suppose, keep you in the know about what happens when you go and you book a table in a restaurant in France, or if you want to order food. Okay, so réserver une table. So first of all, I'm going to teach you how to reserve or book a table. So, réserver une table. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, sure, I'll never have to book a restaurant over in France. You might think so, but I remember a good few years back booking restaurants from home for Disneyland. And when you ring over there, you can click on the speak to a French operator or speak to an English operator. But sometimes you just get directed straight to a French-speaking person, and it's just so handy to be able to book the table in French. So here's a few tips. So réserver is the verb to book. Réserver une table, to book a table. Je voudrais réserver une table, s'il vous plaît. So I would like to book a table, please. So je voudrais means I would like. Okay, so you're saying conditionally what I would like to do. So je voudrais, I would like, réserver, to book, une table, a table, s'il vous plaît, if you please. So I would like to book a table, please. Okay? The person then that's taking your booking will say, pour combien de personnes? So for how many people? So pour is for, combien de means how much or how many. Personne is people. So pour combien de personnes? So for how many people? Now all you'll have to say back is pour deux personnes, pour trois personnes, pour quatre personnes. So for 2 people, for 3 people, for 4 people. Okay? So firstly, we say bonjour, je voudrais réserver une table, s'il vous plaît. Pour combien de personnes? For how many people? Pour 2 personnes. Then you'll be asked pour quelle date? For which date? Now, there's 2 words for which in French. You've quel, Q-U-E-L, and then you've quel, Q-U-E-L-L-E. The reason I have the feminine one down here is because date is a feminine word in French, okay? So, pour quelle date? For which date? Pour mardi 28 avril, okay? 28 avril. So, for Tuesday the 28th of April. You should be brilliant at your dates anyway at this stage. You've all the numbers studied and you've your month studied as well. So, pour combien de personnes? Pour quelle date? For which date? Pour mardi 28 avril, okay? Then they will ask you, c'est à quel nom? What's the name? Okay, c'est à quel nom? What's the name? It literally translates as it's of which name. It's at which name. You will say c'est au nom de Bertrand, or c'est au nom de Murphy. C'est au nom de O'Sullivan. Now, as you can imagine, you may be asked to spell that over in France, even if you spell it with regards to pronouncing the English alphabet or the French one, whichever one you can manage, okay, because they wouldn't be familiar with our surnames, really and truly. So, c'est au nom de Bertrand, okay? Then they'll ask, quel est votre numéro de téléphone? So, what's your telephone number? So, it literally translates as, what is your number of telephone? Quel est votre numéro de téléphone? What's your telephone number? Mon numéro de téléphone est le. So my number is the, and then you call it out. Now it's usually a bunch of digits, and they do it in every kind of second. You can see the way it's written down anyway on the screen in front of you. They kind of bunch them in 2 digits, okay? So, mon numéro de téléphone est le 06 17 22 56 82 99, okay? So, that's generally how the conversation goes. So I have an example here for you. So la serveuse, here is the waitress. La cliente is the client. So this will be like a little sample role play of a conversation between a waitress and a client. So la serveuse, the waitress says, bonjour, restaurant de la Tour Eiffel. Je peux vous aider? So hello, restaurant Eiffel Tower. Can I help you? La cliente, the client says, Bonjour madame, je voudrais réserver une table s'il vous plaît. Hi madame, I would like to book a table please. The waitress says, Oui. Pour quelle date? Yes, for which date? And the client says, Pour vendredi 1er Mai. For Friday the 1st of May. The waitress says, À quelle heure? At what time? And the client says, À 19h si possible. At, we'll say 19 o'clock or at 7 o'clock if possible. The waitress asks, Pour combien de personnes? For how many people? And the client says, Pour 2 personnes, for 2 people. And the waitress asks, C'est à quel nom? What's the name? And the client says, C'est un nom de Bertrand. B-E-R-T-R-A-N-D. And then the waitress says, Quel est votre numéro de téléphone? What's your telephone number? And the client says, Mon numéro de téléphone est le 06 38 49 71 92. And the waitress says, Alors, so, je répète, I repeat, une table pour 2 personnes, vendredi 1er mai à 19h. So, I repeat, a table for 2 people, Friday the 1st of May at 7 o'clock. And the client says, Parfait, perfect. Merci, au revoir. Thank you and goodbye. Okay? So let's just give a quick look back at those key statements we've just learned. So, réserver une table, to book a table. Je voudrais réserver une table, s'il vous plaît. I would like to book a table, please. Pour combien de personnes? For how many people? Pour 2 personnes. Pour quelle date? Pour mardi 28 avril. C'est à quel nom? C'est un nom de Bertrand. Quel est votre numéro de téléphone? Mon numéro de téléphone est le 06, etc. Just on the role play. So, what I would like you to do is, firstly, today, after you've watched this video clip, I want you to write that title into your notes copies that you see in front of you. Réserver une table, to book a table. And then I want you to write in that vocab in the box in front of you. Okay, make sure you write in the translation. So all that vocab is exactly what we've just prepared. Then when you've that written in, exercise 9.1, at the bottom of the page, where it says écoutez, I want you to listen to how all of those are pronounced, all of those phrases. I know I've just pronounced them with you, but you need to listen to another person pronouncing them as well. Okay, so I hope that's all right. Then I would like you to do listening exercise 9.2 on page 222. You can see it there in front of you. So I want you to listen to the conversation and you need to fill in the blanks. Now you don't need to write out the full sentences in your copy or anything. In fact, you can fill in the blanks on your iPad and you can take a screenshot of it for yourself, you know. I'll post my answers as well on Friday and I hope you get on okay with that. That should be fine. All right, and listen to it 2 or 3 times. Give yourselves a chance. Then on the next page, or is it page 222 or page 223? You'll figure it out. I think it's page 222 anyway. You'll know it anyway in your ebook. Exercise 1 gives you 4 role plays, but I only want you to write out 2 of them, okay? So what I want you to do is, just like the role play that I did there with you, and I'll have a screenshot of that given to you in your Edmodo post here that I'm posting up today. I want you to write out the conversations between the client and between this waiter or waitress for the first 2 conversations. So, for example, the number of people is 3, Saturday night, 7 o'clock. The name is Leblanc. You've got the telephone number. In the second conversation, the number of people is 2, Friday evening, 6:30. Surname is Petit, and there's the telephone number. So you write out the conversation exactly like this, like the listening exercise, or like the exercise that I did with you a while ago, my little conversation that I just put together. Okay, I hope that's okay. That'll be really, really good practice. That'll make you confident in being able to book a table. Now, to finish up in the video, I wanted to teach you extra vocab to do with booking, or not booking tables, but eating in France. Okay, really, really handy tips and vocab. So, manger dehors en France. Now, you know the verb manger is to eat. Dehors means outside. So, to eat outside in France. It's just a fab thing to be able to do there because the weather is generally always fab over there. And even in the winter time, they'll put like heaters out in the terrace and the patio of the restaurants out on the pavement, and like it's just something so lovely about sitting and eating outdoors, because it's something that we really don't do here. So, manger dehors en France. Now, usually when you arrive at the restaurant, I find this myself, the waiter will ask you, and you can see the waiter, he's very fancy, well dressed there in front of you. They'll usually ask you, dehors ou à l'extérieur? So, do you want to eat outside? So, there's two words there for à l'extérieur ou dehors. They both mean outside. So, just preparing you for both examples. Or if they want to ask you, do you want to sit indoors? It's dedans ou à l'intérieur. So outside is dehors, inside is dedans. Dehors, outside, dedans, inside. Or à l'extérieur, outside. There should be a grave over the A there. Or à l'intérieur, inside. It's just handy to be able to tell them where you'd like to sit. Okay? They won't charge you any more for sitting outside on the pavement, but it's just lovely to be able to do it. Now, un café is a cafe. You can see a lovely picture of one in Paris there, Café de Flore. Now, that's quite a big picture of a cafe. So generally, they're quite small. So what will you be able to get in a cafe? Coffee, tea, a mineral, pastries. Okay, small bits, maybe un croque-monsieur, maybe a toasted ham and cheese sandwich. Okay, then you have un bistrot. There's two spellings of it. Okay, one is without the T and one is with the T. It doesn't matter. Now, this picture is Le Bistrot des Halles. So that's in Les Halles district in Paris. Some of you might remember researching that district. We were doing that as a portfolio piece. So un bistrot, it's basically in between a cafe and a restaurant. So it's a small restaurant. There's a handful of tables and chairs at the bar counter. So you'll have like a bar counter. I think I've the next picture here. Yeah, you usually have a few stools up at the bar counter. You'd have a few tables maybe outside and a small few tables inside. They'd mostly serve drinks, but they'll serve small traditional dishes. Okay, so small number of dishes on the menu. Usually they're run by family. So family-run businesses rather than big multinational companies. Okay, so you have un café, un bistrot, un restaurant. So un restaurant was what the majority of you would probably be eating in. They all work the exact same way. Okay, fast food is basically a Chippers. Okay, a Chippers or a takeaway restaurant. So fast food, you have your McDonald's over there. Quick would be another kind of a popular fast food chain over there. I can't think of any more off the top of my head. So when you go into the restaurant or the bistrot, une entrée is a starter. We've learned that in the previous chapter. Un plat principal is a main course. Un dessert is a dessert. Okay, you're fine with them. An apéritif. An apéritif is a cocktail or a pre-dinner drink. You will see them on the menu, or they might ask you, do you want one? So usually the French, before they might eat their starter or eat their main course, they might get an apéritif, which is a cocktail or a pre-dinner drink. Okay? Le fromage is cheese. Just in case you see it in the menus over there, there is even a separate section on a lot of menus for cheese. It even comes before the dessert section. So they really love their cheeses, and you can get une assiette de fromage, a plate of cheeses, a selection of them with like dips and stuff. If you're into that kind of thing, lovely. So le fromage, cheese. Un digestif is an after-dinner drink then. So an apéritif is a pre-dinner drink, so you have that before your dinner. Whereas un digestif is an after-dinner drink, so it could be something like a brandy or a whiskey or something like that. Okay. Un menu à prix fixe. Now, that's a fixed price menu. That's what it literally translates as, okay? So let me explain this menu to you, because it's really important that you know this for France. It's a set menu. Usually, there's a 3-course meal in it, and there's the one price, and you get the 3 courses and you pay that price. You can't decide, I actually don't want a starter, so I'll just go for the other 2 courses. If it's a set menu, you have to take what's on that menu and you pay the price. So, for example, you can see prix fixe 3 courses. So a fixed price menu, set menu in front of you, and they give you 2 options for a starter, 3 options or something for the main course, and you have a dessert of your choice. But you must have the 3 courses, and it's $25.99 for it. Okay, so that's a menu à prix fixe. Okay. Then you have la formule du jour, which is very, very similar. Okay. Now, just going back to the fixed price set menu, that's going to be always there. Okay, printed in a booklet, and it's there 24/7. Whereas la formule du jour may change from day to day. The formule du jour is something similar. It's a set meal, and usually it's 2 courses. Okay, so you can order a starter and a main, or a main and a dessert. Okay, so there's a little bit more flexibility. Usually, la formule du jour offers you the dish of the day. As you can see, plat du jour and le dessert du jour. So there you're kind of down to 2 courses and you pay that set price. Okay, whereas un menu à prix fixe, 3 courses and set price. La formule du jour, usually 2 courses, set price. Okay, if you're hungry enough for that. You can see a nice little picture there. Formule du midi, so the midday kind of menu. So it's entrée, plat et dessert. So they're offering you the 3 courses for 10 euros. Entrée et plat, so starter and main course, 10 euros 20. Et plat principal et dessert, 9 euros 90. Okay, so 9.90 then for just the dessert and the main course. And then they show you the vin au verre, so wine in the glass and the right hand side. Okay, so it's just important to know they're really set price menus. Okay, le plat du jour is the dish of the day. So poulet fermier, so farm raised chicken. Pomme de terre, potatoes, there's whatever the dish of the day might be. And that's nice that they'd have that. That's usually freshly cooked. Okay, now we often see these in restaurants in Ireland. A la carte is a menu where you order an individual dish. So I go to a restaurant, I'm not hungry enough, I really only want a starter. That's fine. Once it's on the a la carte menu, they've no problem with that. You're only hungry enough for your main course. Perfect. If it's a la carte menu, you only need to get what you want off of it. Okay, you're not tied down to 2 or 3 courses. Ardoise is a handy little term to know. It's the slate that you write the menu on in front of you. So usually the menus would be written on a slate. We'll say the dish of the day or the set price menu of the day. Otherwise, they'll be written on an actual booklet or on a sheet of paper. Okay, so ardoise is just where the menu is written on. So usually it's displayed outside the restaurant or maybe on a table. Now, bio means organic. Okay, so I think there's something in there that's organic. Yes, it's in the starters. Ragout de légumes bio. So it's a stew of vegetables. It's an organic vegetable stew. Okay, so bio is organic and it's a big kind of a thing over there. Frit is fried. So poulet frit, fried chicken. Okay, fumé is smoked. Saumon fumé, smoked salmon. Glacé is iced or frozen. So thé glacé maison, so iced tea. And maison there means homemade. Okay, so thé glacé, iced tea. Grillé is grilled. So saumon grillé, grilled salmon. Haché is minced. So steak haché bœuf, so minced beef. Maison, like I said to you a while ago, is homemade. So thé glacé maison, so iced tea, so homemade iced tea. Poêlé is pan-fried. So poêlé, it could be pan-fried chicken, it could be pan-fried steak, it could be anything, okay? And you know that poêle is a frying pan from the last chapter. So poêlé is pan-fried. Salé is salted. Now le sel is salt, but if popcorn is salted, it would be popcorn salé. Sucré is sugar. Okay, so they do often offer you the sugared sweet popcorn over there. So salt and sweet, okay? Piquant means spicy. So if you like your spicy foods, piquant is spicy. La purée is mashed potatoes. Now you won't see it all the time, but it's handy to see because you might be looking out for pomme de terre, potato. But la purée is mashed potatoes. And sometimes when we're over there, we like a bit of something that reminds us of home. Now, you're at the end of your meal and the waiter comes over and he says, vous voulez des desserts? You'd like some desserts? Non, merci. Je n'en peux plus. Je n'en peux plus. J'ai bien mangé. J'ai trop mangé. They all mean I'm full. Okay, you're being polite, but you're just saying I'm full. So je n'en peux plus means I don't want any more. J'ai bien mangé means I ate great, I ate fine. J'ai trop mangé, I ate too much. Okay, so if you even remember one of them, wouldn't it be lovely? Is that everything? Oh, brilliant. Okay, so